For my third activity from NCTM Illuminations, we are going to send a Barbie doll on a bungee jump, although you can also use a similarly sized action figure. In this activity, we can use math to determine the perfect number of rubber bands to make her bungee cord out of, such that she gets the longest jump possible while just barely missing hitting the floor. The supplies you'll need for this activity are a dollar action figure, some equally sized rubber bands, and a measurement instrument. I'm going to use a tape measure. The first thing I'll do is take one of my rubber bands and attach it to her ankles by looping it around like this. This is going to be the start of her bungee cord. Then I'm going to string more rubber bands, one more right now, onto this first rubber band like this. Okay, now she's ready to bungee jump. Now to go set up my bungee jumping area. I marked off a height exactly 5 feet from the ground on these pieces of paper that I taped to my bookshelf. You can use any height you like. I've even done this activity where I dropped Barbie off of a second-story balcony. But for this initial testing, 4 or 5 feet is a good height to use. Now let's try it with 3 rubber bands. I'm going to place Barbie at the 5-foot mark with the top of the bungee cord and her feet both level with the mark, and then drop. Okay, so when I did this before, I saw that she went about this far down on her second bungee jump with 3 rubber bands. So if I measured the distance from the 5-foot mark to where she fell, I can see that it is around 22.75 inches. This is around 5¼ inches from where my last mark was. So at this point, you should probably try adding another 1 or 2 rubber bands and seeing how far Barbie falls in each case, because we have a lot of error here. Basically, I want to be able to figure out how many rubber bands would be needed for Barbie to drop just under 60 inches. So she doesn't quite hit the floor when she bungee jumps, but she gets the longest and most exciting possible jump. So for me, since each rubber band adds another 5.25 inches or 5¼ inches of height, I think adding another 7 rubber bands to my string for a total of 10 rubber bands will get me right where I need to be. And that's what I have here. So I estimate, based on my linear model, that with 10 rubber bands, Barbie is going to fall 59 inches. So if I'm right, she should just barely miss the floor, but she should get a really good bungee jump. I'm going to put the top of the bungee cord at the 5-foot mark, and I'm going to put her feet at the 5-foot mark. If my math is right, she should fall almost, but not quite to the ground. Let's see what happens. That was a good bungee jump. She didn't crash into the ground, but she got a good amount of distance from it. So from here, you could try some higher bungee jumps and continue to use your table or your equation to make the best guess you can for the length of her ideal bungee cord.